Okay, so back to here. We need to take stuff back to the yard. Put these pallets away and we'll drive through the hedge again. Yay. All right. Could use the front of that shed to park tractors under where I want to leave them in the yard. Yeah, there's enough room to get through there. Just. Straps off. Yay. I'll try and get those unloaded. I'm pretty sure I can't do it from this angle because we tried that earlier with the can't do it from that side, but I can do it from this side. That could be a problem. Why am I still on the front loader attachment? Camera view. There we go. So I don't have to be all the way over, just enough. Should have parked that trailer in front of the shed rather than where I did. That's fine. I'll keep the seed here for now, although it's not a particularly ideal place to put it. Up so we don't hit the trailer. And then we'll reverse into that pile of yuck. So yeah, these pallets are 2,100 litres of seed. I think the fertilizer pallets, the blue packs, are the same. And yet those big bags are only 2,000 or 1,000, and they seriously overbalance the tractor. So. And considering the weight of this tractor, we shouldn't have that much of an issue picking these up. Okay, that's there. And we can go and pick up the last one. I mean, the other good thing about that weight is it's a variable mass weight, so I can adjust the weight. I can adjust the number of weight plates on it, so it doesn't have to be that heavy. The one behind the Lindner is unfortunately a fixed weight. There we go. So that's all done. That's not working. Let's go back the side we went into. Go around this side. Oh, that should be close. Yeah. So normally I'd stick this in that shed there, but our sprayer's in there, so there's room there. See how well we do with this. Well, not quite. Okay, try that again. Turn it sharper, and probably easier with the Lindner, to be perfectly honest, since that has the all-wheel steering. But that's not a luxury we have at this moment. Oops. I've said before, this is a very tight yard, which is one of the reasons why we got the Lindner in the first place. Ugh. And let's drive up the fence. Oh, let's do this. I probably can't move this. Nope. But in real life, you kind of can. Not quite like that. You can push it, so we're going to push it in. Oh, now it's too far over again. Kind of like that. That's a good place for it. And we can go there. So yeah, one of the reasons I put it in the other shed is there's a little bit more space for maneuvering, plus the shed doesn't have the support legs but again in the way there. But that's good enough. Put the vent back in here. So we'll try and put the vent back in there. Should we have another go at that? There we go. So that's our pallet fork tractor. The other one is for feeding the sheep, which we could probably do a checkup. Actually, what I wanted to figure out is that's a Valtra Defender Lindner plus Axion. The Harvester, 6275L is the Harvester. There you go. There's me trying to figure out what. That's the other Fent on this farm. Yeah. So, sheeps. Sheeps are gonna need some of this stuff. Hay. We have 126 sheep, so we started off with 66. So that's 60 successful breeding with, oh, there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's interesting. We are getting some sheep here that are having multiples by the looks of it. But whatever. Okay, sheep done. Sheep will need a bale of something later, but not right now. Let's go here. So we have fertilizing, fertilizing, fertilizing. That's a lot. More fertilizing. And a baling contract. I'm just not too bothered with that. So let us accept that contract and go find our Valtra. As I said, of course, we left the herbicide in this one. So I'm going to take this down to the barnyard, unload it where the rest of the fertilizer was, and we'll load up on fertilizer. There's the fertilizer. Okay, that's the herbicide. Actually, we should be filling the back tank before we fill, or the front tank before we fill the back one, but not to worry. Let's make sure we select front tank. Oh dear. There we go. Ooh. Oh, that must be the front tank filled. So, or not. There. We're 99% full, so no big deal. Let's figure out where we're going. We are doing field 36. $33, $35, 36. It's the Oakfield that's at the end of the road. Well, I think what that means is we're going out this way. Because that will put us on the road out of the village, which is where the field is. It's kind of handy. And that does make for a good field to purchase sometime. Not right now. Oh, we're below 70,000 money, so yeah, I kind of want to save what we have until we make some more money, and that's going to be silage sales, I guess, is the next money maker that we have. Okay, the oats should be right next to us now. So all we have to do is find a way in. That's a lot of dead weeds he has in there by the looks of it. That is annoying. Okay, nobody coming. Let's sneak our way out. Yeah, that's a lot of dead weeds in that field. Somewhere on the left there's an entrance to this field. Probably down by the speed limit sign. Okay. That's strange. Unless we're supposed to come in through the forest. Interesting. Okay, let's get this thing unfolded and figure out where we need to position. Way too wide. Okay. Of course, the advantage with this sprayer is we can reduce the width of it for the smaller fields if we wanted to. Not going to, but we could do if we wanted to. Okay, so pull that up. Auto width 91.86 feet and set A. Oop. Forwards is best. Off and that one. Set B. That's on. That's on. Let's go. Go, go, go. So yeah, I mean, since we've already bought the fertilizer, maybe want to get a solid fertilizer at some point as well. One that can be used during planting. Well, not necessarily. We'll have to see what seed do we get at the end of the year. As I said, not going to buy one now. We don't need one now. Really can't see crops too dense to be able to see if this is actually working or not. Obviously it should be, since it's a contract. Okay, since we're on the edge of the field here, I'm going to disable the GPS, and we'll run along the edge manually. Means there'll be an overlap on the right side of the tractor, but that's not an issue. Because then we've formed our line for the parallel rows at that point. So much big equipment, it would be really nice to have, but probably not happening for a while. We're going to be running with the small Fendt obviously at the end of the year, because that's all we have in the way of harvesters. But we're only doing, well, apart from the sunflowers, we're really only doing 2 small fields. And the sunflowers, we have a sunflower header, so we can do that at a faster speed than regular header allows. Okay, I'm going to stick cruise control on and check the contract. Yeah, we're doing fine. It's actually quite a big field. 15% done. Oh, we also discovered last week the reason why our shrubs in the front yard look like they have a mohawk is because we have the local deer population are eating what they can reach. They can't reach the bit in the middle, or the bit closest to the house, which is a shame because we kind of want that side trimmed the most so that we don't get critters walking up the plants and into the house. So, belt systems we now have available to us. Should be here. Yes, so I got this thing. Now it looks like we can adjust the height of it, which will be a good thing. You can also use this thing in conjunction with it, so you can tip here and it will load the bottom of the auger and load it up. What I don't know is if it'll extract stuff from a silage clamp, which is the prime reason for needing it. Because the one we had, which I liked, this thing, yeah, it's what most farmers do. The problem is the reach here is not sufficient to get over our semi-trailer. It's good enough for a farm trailer, you know, a smaller farm trailer, but the bigger ones, it doesn't work. So I'd have to come up with something else. Coming to the end. Oh, there's a fence. Why aren't we backing up? Question. Because GPS still enabled. Okay. A little bit off the line there, but as far as I was concerned, didn't matter because the field was narrower at that point than the boom reach. So this is going to take us a little while, I think. But we're a third done, so okay. This will get us halfway ish. I think the whole right side of the field's going to be a bit of a pain because it's not entirely square. So this bit here, we're going to have to do a manual edge and then figure it out here. So is the entrance to the field through 13? That's possible. Doesn't look that big on this map, but yeah, that's a lot bigger than the fields we have. How much is that? 500,000. Ooh. 37's pricey. See, for the most part, we've got the smaller arable fields. We could do 17, but 17's one of those contract fields. So I'd kind of like to leave them open for as long as possible. Because once you buy that, you're losing out on your contracts that you can do. How is the adoption going? Oh, well, we got the documents for the child we're looking at. And very busy week, so we didn't get a chance to read them. I was figuring, oh, there's a couple of attachments on the email, no big deal, I can read them during my lunch break or something like that. Oh no. 5 attachments, each of them is 100 pages. So I took a look at that and said, yeah, that's not something I can really browse through at lunchtime and absorb all the information. So that's going to be major reading over the next couple of days, I think. But I think at this point we're mostly looking for, is there anything really objectionable in there? And we haven't seen that so far. So this one might be heading towards adoption, possibly. But right now, we're tending to the positive side of things. We just have to wait and obviously read all these documents and see where it goes from there. Then I think after that, we get a meeting about an hour long with the child where we get to do something, talk, and figure out if we all like each other. And then see where it goes from there. Obviously, if that works out, then we have further meetings, eventual overnight stays, that sort of thing. Kind of like from what I gather, the reuniting of a parent with a child in care, where, you know, the court wants reunification of the child, you know, of a removed child with the parent, and the parent has to meet certain goals before that can happen. And I presume adoption is a similar thing, where we get to, we meet the child, we talk to the child, because the child is of an age where they can decide if the adoption is something they want to allow to progress or not. And then if that's all working out, you get more and more visits until everybody's happy, the court's happy, and the court says, yes, this child is now yours. Don't break it, or whatever they say. I could actually turn out there. I think I pretty much hit the edge of the field when I do. Yay. Okay. Keep backing up. Okay, so we just did this row.